Hey, my friends, Miss Drews with your math warm up this week. So today we're going to kind of look at something that you probably are going to like, I know how to do that. A little bit of skip counting, okay? And we're going to look at certain ones. We're going to look at skip counting by twos, by fives, and by threes. Okay, a lot of us in our classes have been talking about how skip counting, of course, helps us in all kinds of stuff. But I know there's some of us who are super excited as second graders to learn a little bit about multiplication and division, okay? And that kind of happens in our problem solving that you'll see the next couple weeks. But I will and your teachers will probably kind of show you what that multiplication sign means and what the division sign means. So if you've been kind of doing it for fun with your families or like in class with your teacher a little bit, now we're going to start looking at what those signs mean. Just like when you started doing addition and subtraction, okay, you had to know, well, why do we add those numbers together? And we still have to do that in our classes, of course, right? Like, are we going to subtract? Are we going to add? So same thing with those multiplication and division that's going to be coming up a little bit, okay? So to do that, and I've been saying it all year because lots of us are excited, skip counting by different numbers is going to help you get a lot and understand a lot of those multiplication and division type of problems that you're going to come across. Okay, so like let's say that I'm hanging up all these socks from this family and I want to know if I have everybody's and how many I have. So I know that a pair of socks is 2. Okay, so I might just say, hey, how many socks are there? Now we know in our math talks and other places I can count by ones. But if I know they're by twos, they're in pairs, it's easier to count by twos. Okay, and I know a lot of times when I have a lot of pennies, I kind of use my 2 fingers and count them by twos. Okay, it's the same thing with these socks. So I know that there's some cutoff here, but I know this is a pair. So if I was counting this, you can count them with me in your house or in your classroom in your head. Don't be too loud. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And it's just a little bit quicker than counting by ones, okay? So I had 16. And look at this. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 groups of 2 is actually equal to 16 total. Okay, and that kind of, like I said, the more we kind of talk about it and kind of get used to it, that's going to carry over to help you know what that multiplication and division is. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 groups of 2 would be 16 altogether, like we counted. Okay, so you're going to be doing something similar in the rest of your slides. So that one, you don't have to do anything on that one. It's just kind of part of the lesson. But I want you to kind of just skip count so that when you do get to these problems coming up soon in your classes, you'll know how to and what to count by and how to explain it, okay? So today you're going to practice skip counting by 2 on this chart. You're going to go to 2 all the way to 40. So I always say use your text box because it's easier to type numbers. If you want to use the drawing tool on Kami, you can, but typing numbers is a little bit quicker for most of us. So if I use that T for text box and I click where I want it to type, remember it's an easier way. So I'm going to get you started and then you can finish this up. So 2, 4, 6, and I got some helpers to make sure that I'm on the right spot. 8, come on, 10, and then I'm going to keep going down here with 12 and keep going. Now, if I get to a number and I'm like, wait, that's not the right one, then I would need to go back and see where my mistake was. Or if I get down here to 40 and that's not really where I'm wanting to go, then I need to see where I've messed up. Okay, don't forget that skip counting, just like up here, okay, you're basically counting each group, right? You're skipping 2 each one. Okay, so when I'm down here, I can oops, sorry, my mouse got away from me. All right, so down here, this is the same thing, okay? 2, and then another group of 2, right? 2, 4, all right? 2, another group of 2, boop, boop, and then 2 more, 2, 4, 6. 3 groups of 6. You can kind of start looking at those things and noticing. If you're having trouble skip counting by 2s, you can always put the ones that you're skipping in your head, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And each time I get to the second one, I know that that's my next number. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing here for 5s. A lot of us are getting really good at skip counting by 5s. A lot of us do it by backwards and different numbers by now. But if you need help, there are pictures here too. Okay, so you're skip counting by fives to see how many eggs there are. Skip counting by fives to see how many balls in the baskets all together. Okay, so this is kind of getting us more into when we have those problems and story problems, how do we figure out by skip counting? So again, I would use the text box. And if you need to count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can. Okay, or again, you're skip counting by tens or fives, 5, 10, 15, and then you keep going. Okay, to see how many there are. But there are help up here if you need it without them. And last but not least is a skip counting by 3. We've been doing a little bit of skip counting, I know, in our class by 3 to kind of get those numbers that we aren't used to skip counting by, because then when I have stuff that's grouped that way, okay, and then later on when I'm wanting to know those multiplication and division, then that'll help with this. Okay, so we've got skip counting by 3. So again, if you're a person who hasn't skipped by 3 very often, maybe just a little bit, then this is a good practice because it is dot to dot. Okay, I mean, who doesn't like a good dot to dot? I do, and I'm really old. Okay, so we've got dot to dot skip counting by 3s. Okay, so you can kind of know where it's going to go around the penguin, of course. Oh, sorry, I spooled it. Oops, my bad. Hopefully you noticed it was a penguin. Right? But you're going to skip count by 3. So a lot of us started at least by like to 15s and 18s and things like that. So 3, 6, 9, 12. And as you're kind of getting to know, as you go around, you can kind of see which one it is. And the more you say it out loud, just like when you first skip counting by 10s, like in first grade and in kindergarten, the more you just said it out loud, the better you get. So when you're walking around the house, hey, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and your parents are going to go, what you doing? And you're just going to say, I'm skip counting by 3s. All right. So just practice that out. And again, if you need help, you can use the picture to kind of know where to go. Know that it's kind of going in order, of course. Or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once you've gotten to a part where you're like, I know that part and I've done my drawing on Kami, then I can go back, and the more I say it out loud again, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. And the more I say it out loud, the better I'll get. Okay, so skip counting practice will help you in your problem solvings as you're coming up this week together in the next couple weeks. And then also bonus, okay, for those multiplication and division problems that I know lots of us like to know. Okay, all right, see you next time.